Straight ahead on 12 News, a Plymouth family's MNsure headache.
All of this is frustrating.
Their health insurance situation still isn't solved after months of work. Plus, going to jail for no reason? Why today some people arrested didn't seem to mind. But first, a spike in home sales and what potential buyers may want to consider to get the house they want. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. There is some good news for home buyers. The number of listings are up.
And there's good news for sellers. Prices are rising. Listings are up 15% in the Twin Cities compared to this time last year. The median sales price, meanwhile, is up 11% this year. Locally, Plymouth has seen a lot of activity with the most new listings, up 30% over last year, and Crystal has seen the biggest increase in the median sales price, rising 19% this year to $165,000. But when the market is this strong, some homes go fast, and if you're looking to buy, Cassie Bonstrom has some tips on how to make your offers stand out.
I have friends that are realtors and they're telling me stories about getting multiple offers on the same home. Do you want to use this one?
Janice Lickness didn't plan on selling her family's Plymouth home, but word of a hot real estate market changed her mind.
So that's why we decided to do it now. We were going to wait a couple more years, actually, and we thought, well, now's the time to do it.
So up went the for sale sign on May 1st.
Within the first 12 hours of listing the home, had 8 showings scheduled. And so we felt great.
And within 4 days, it sold.
It was perfect scenario. We were able to close the same day that we closed on our new home.
And then you have 3 bedrooms. So if you come back over here, you can see.
Janice's situation isn't unusual.
Do you have any questions about the property or?
House hunting these days has jumped onto the fast track.
We are in a seller's market.
Monica Fry with Keller Williams Realty says the demand for homes is up, meaning bidding wars are becoming increasingly common. And buyers must stand out.
It's just really putting out a good package, like a good offer, and there's a number of factors in that.
Fry suggests you get pre-approved before starting a house search.
Pre-approved, not pre-qualified, there's a big difference.
That way sellers see that you're serious and ready to buy. She also discourages giving a lowball offer that will be thrown out if there's multiple bids.
Another $5,000 on that offer is only $25 a month to your monthly payment. And if this is your perfect house and the seller's done all these updates, don't lose it over that.
Janice was grateful everything had gone smoothly until she found out Tuesday the buyer had rescinded his offer on her home. She's frustrated it didn't work out, but confident the seller's market will work in her favor.
I think it will still sell. Like I said, it's a great neighborhood and we have a great price on the house, so.
Well, Fry also suggests writing a cover letter of sorts to the sellers explaining why you like the home and why it's a good fit. She says often multiple bids are very similar and a personal letter like that can help your offer stand out, Mike.
All right, very interesting. Thank you, Cassie. Brooklyn Park man is identified as the person killed in a shooting in South Minneapolis. According to the medical examiner, 27-year-old Abdiaziz Farah died from multiple gunshot wounds. Farah was shot and killed early Sunday morning. Minneapolis police do not believe the killing was random. No arrests have been made. A Plymouth family is currently dealing with a MNsure headache.
And they have been trying to renew on the state's online health exchange for months, but have only encountered roadblocks. Reporter Sonia Goins has their story.
I'm very frustrated. I've been dealing with this since December.
Renee Croton has been swamped trying to navigate through the MNsure system since the early part of this year.
We were going to renew, and they said, wait till you got the letter. I got the letter, and then 2 weeks later, I got a cancellation notice.
She was on a tight deadline to complete an application.
I tried to go online, could not get online.
When the computer didn't work, she went old school and faxed her paperwork. It was made more urgent because Renee has 2 older children in college, and they were on medical assistance.
I know I should qualify for something because I'm on the low end of even the subsidized one. And to be told I didn't qualify for anything by a MNsure worker was very frustrating.
Renee then reapplied for her daughter, but is still waiting for an answer. In the meantime, she had to get private insurance.
I can't risk her going off of her medication.
She is not alone in her MNsure woes.
Now, each year, people who are on Minnesota Care or medical assistance have to reapply to see if they still qualify for benefits, while a new computer problem is causing headaches for thousands.
There was an issue with the data sources that we were hitting in an attempt to verify the eligibility. And as such, we auto-renewed or allowed folks to continue eligibility.
Right now,
We don't know if Renee and her family are affected by this new glitch, but state officials say there won't be any disruption to insurance coverage for the 55,000 people impacted by it.
What we are doing at this point is working with the federal government. That is the data source that was at issue here, and ensuring that we have a process in place that will, going forward, correct this information.
Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Minnesota Human Services officials are working with the federal government to fix the data issue. Once the computer problem is solved, state workers will re-verify eligibility requirements.
Issues with MNsure, now more woes with students taking the Minnesota Comprehensive Assessments. For the fourth time, a computer problem has halted standardized testing. Students taking the science portion of the MCAs experience serious delays. The state education department says the computer problems are blamed on an outside cyber attack more sophisticated than one that occurred last month. The MCAs are administered by an outside company, testing giant Pearson.
Republican and DFL leaders have agreed on something before Monday's legislative session deadline. They say they will not talk to the media as they try to hammer out a budget deal in private. On the House floor, Representative Joyce Pepin of Rogers said while there has been movement, there's still disagreement over a gas tax increase.
So, of course, with a $2 billion surplus, it doesn't make any sense to move forward with a gas tax increase. But, you know, we're working with Senator Bach. We would like to keep transportation on the table. We want to make sure there's a transportation bill moving forward.
DFL leaders and the governor are pushing for a wholesale gas tax increase to pay for transportation and transit improvements.
Hire from within. Elect to go outside. The city of Osseo is choosing the internal route as it selects a new city administrator. The Osseo City Council voted to enter into negotiations with Assistant City Administrator Riley Grams. Current City Administrator Doug Reeder worked on an interim basis the last 3 years and is ready to retire now. Grams came to Osseo 3 years ago after starting his career doing planning work for the city of Bloomington. Coming up, a Hennepin Tech student challenges a career stereotype.
And then a little bit later in sports, a close contest in softball between Osseo and Park Center.
But first, have a raincoat ready for Thursday. Showers are expected in the afternoon and evening.
How do you get kids to try new vegetables? Well, how about having them grow the vegetables themselves? Students at Robbinsdale Middle School celebrated the completion of newly planted garden plots. They planted kale, spinach, zucchini, squash, and cucumbers, to name a few. It started out as a 7th grade ecology lesson, but it turned into something much bigger.
We did ask some of what they wanted, and peas and beans and tomatoes came back the biggest. So.
What about the rest?
The rest, we just want them to try different colors of foods and get more used to eating with fresh ingredients.
When it comes to different colors, check out these rainbow carrots. Summer students will weed and water the plants this summer, and with any luck, there will be a harvest in the fall. If you ask a high school senior what they'd like to study in college, you might not always get a straight answer.
But that's not the case with one local student who realized a passion at a young age and in the process defied stereotypes. Here's Delane Cleveland.
Auto repairs are a necessary evil for anyone who owns a car. Yet one person's frustrating repair provides a world of opportunity for students in Hennepin Technical College's Auto Body Technician program.
If you like cars, well, one thing, they can't outsource this at all, ever. So the cars that are damaged here in Minnesota and Minneapolis, they're not going to get shipped to Chicago or off to a different country. They're going to all be repaired here.
In other words, there are jobs in the auto mechanic industry. However, the people mostly doing these jobs are men.
And so going in there as a girl, you could be intimidated, seeing that there's so many people you might see as different than you.
That's what makes 18-year-old Angie Frank unique. She's one of only 3 women in the Hennepin Tech Auto Body program. Today, she demonstrated the sanding process for us. It's a task that occupies much of her time between Monday and Thursday.
I'm here at 7 in the morning every single day, and I leave at 1 o'clock and then go right to my job, so it's a long day.
It may be a long day, but she's living out a passion that developed when she was a child.
I talked to my parents, family, and friends, and they're like, wow, that's so cool that you do that. Like, not many girls are in that field. Like, are you sure it's what you want to do?
She was so sure about her career choice that rather than finishing out her senior year at Blaine High School, she came to Hennepin Tech as a post-secondary student.
I've already finished my generals, and I'm already done with like almost half my program for auto body. So yeah, I do think that is a cool thing to say.
Her instructor would agree, as Angie makes strides to succeed in this male-dominated field.
Angie, even though she doesn't realize she's a role model, she is.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Angie will continue taking auto mechanic classes at Hennepin Tech in the fall, and she says she's had thoughts of one day owning her own body shop. Coming up, arrested for a good cause. We'll show you the people who volunteered for the Slammer.
But first, track athletes at Osseo Park Center in Maple Grove battle at the district meet. John Jacobson is in next.
It is the battle of the Osseo School District when it comes to track and field. That must have been fun.
A fun day and a lot of terrific athletes in this district. Upcoming conference and section meets are more important in the big picture, but track and field athletes in District 279 will have to go head-to-head with their district rivals. Park Center, the site for this year's meet. Boys 4x200 meter relay is a photo finish. Park Center's Chris Carter edges Osseo's Quadre Bassari by 1/100th of a second. Girls 100. Park Center's Georgia Toe wins the sprint in 12.87 seconds. Boys 100, it's Carter again for PC, winning in 10.81 seconds. He also anchors the Pirates' winning 4x100 team. Girls 4x100, Maple Grove's Zenator Lee cruises to the win for the Crimson. They take it in 50.62 seconds. Girls 400, Park Center's Fasayo Iobomadelli and Maple Grove's Lauren Scheidler race to the wire. Iobomadelli the winner in 59.34 seconds. And in the boys pole vault, Osseo's Jeremy Matson, the winner of the top vault of 11 feet 6 inches. Here are the final team scores. The Osseo boys win with 76 team points. Maple Grove and Park Center finish with 51 apiece. Park Center's girls edge Maple Grove for the top score with Osseo third. At the Lake Conference Championships Tuesday at Minnetonka, the host skippers won the boys meet with 113.3 points. Wayzata finishes second, followed by Edina, Eden Prairie, and Hopkins. The Minnetonka girls win as well with Eden Prairie second. Then it's Hopkins third, Edina fourth, and Wayzata fifth. In softball, Osseo and Park Center have each had some success this season. And these teams met up in a night game at Osseo. Park Center pitcher Joe Rosby comes through as a batter, tagging it to deep right center. Hannah Ruan scores on Rosby's double as Park Center gets a run in the top of the first. Osseo evens it up in the fourth. Lane Ruska bunts, and the throw to first here will get away down the right field line. Kelly Auer comes all the way around from first to score on the play, and it's 1-1. Steve Erickson's Pirates are hurt by another defensive miscue in the fifth. Taylor Bridgman's comebacker thrown away, and Andrea Deanslake scores, and the Orioles lead 2-1. Orioles pitcher Courtney Calkins escapes a big jam in the sixth after Park Center had runners at second and third with no outs, and Osseo scores a 2-1 win.
Yeah, I think we picked up our energy towards the end of the game. I mean, we started off kind of slow, and so towards the end of the game, we decided to pick up our energy, and we finally got those hits in.
It's been a tough spring for the Park Center baseball team. The Pirates took on a Hopkins squad that struggled in late conference play, but it's fared better in non-conference games. The Pirates playing host to the Royals on a sunny afternoon. Park Center trails 1-0, but that changes with one swing. Dan Hansen ripping a single to center. It scores Greg Sundby and Andy Brown. Park Center takes a 2-1 lead after an inning. But it's all Hopkins from there. In the second, Kobe Hare smacks it over the left fielder's head and out to the fence. Max Wiesner and John Cook scores. The Royals retake the lead. They're up 4-2 after 2. In the third, Cook drills a long drive to the base of the fence and left. Aaron Jensen is in to score to make it 5-2 Hopkins. And they're just getting started in this inning. Jensen caps an 8-run third with a 2-run single up the middle. Jeff Cooper and Henry Brott score on the play, and Hopkins is in command 12-2. That's plenty for pitcher Cooper. He induces a double play bouncer as Hopkins rolls to a 5-inning win. 14-2 Royals is the final. It's playoff time in boys tennis. Section play is starting Wednesday for some local teams, with others beginning a day or two later. In Section 5AA, Maple Grove is the second seed behind the state's top-ranked team, Mounds View. Centennial is third and Blaine fourth. Locally, Ficino Grace is seeded sixth, with Champlain Park, Rogers, Park Center, and Osseo on the 9 through 12 slots. First round matches are Wednesday with quarterfinals Thursday, although the weather may not cooperate Thursday. Semifinals are scheduled for Friday with the championship set for next Tuesday at Park Center. In Section 6AA, Benilde is the #1 seed, with defending state champion Wayzata second and Armstrong third. Edina is seeded fourth, Hopkins is seventh, and Cooper 10th. Matches start Wednesday with 2 play-in contests. The quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals are next week in this section, with the title on the line at the University of Minnesota Baseline Tennis Center. And that's what good sports for today.
Exciting time.
It
All
is,
right.
yeah.
Thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, they were arrested in Crystal, but find out why some of them smiled through it all.
A good reason for getting put in jail when we come back.
The deadline is fast approaching for the names of veterans to be included in the initial engraving at Plymouth's new Veterans Memorial. Applications for the first round of engravings are due Friday, May 22nd. Veterans do not need to be Plymouth residents, but you must have proof of service. The fee for the engraving is $175. One day a year, there is a court in Crystal where the judge's gavel is a rubber mallet and all of the charges are made up.
Order in the court! Order in the court! Roger Olson, you have been arrested for the charge of reckless driving of a grocery cart.
That seemed to be a fitting charge for the manager of Olmsted's Grocery. The handcuffs go on, and these so-called suspects get to take home a copy of their fingerprints. It's all a fun way to raise money for the Crystal Crime Prevention Board, which posts rewards for real crimes and helps support a police dog.
People have volunteered to be arrested on charges such as squeezing the produce or skipping school for a university president. Different things, just a fun thing to make some money for the Crystal Crime Prevention Board.
Have you learned your lesson? Probably not. I'll be back next year.
He said he didn't learn his lesson. He'll be back next year. They have some good sports over there.
That's for
We'll
sure.
see you tomorrow.